Have you ever heard of that statistic that states only 10% of podcasts make it past 3 episodes, and only 10% of those make it past 20 episodes? It's a pretty crazy statistic, right? And it probably builds some hope in you that you can get into the top 1% of podcasters just by uploading 21 podcasts. Well, the same goes for online communities. 90% of communities don't even get 3 members in there. And the sad part is that not having 3 members means that you don't even have a community. You just have a conversation. Therefore, in this video, I'm going to take you through the 6-step guide that will help you get your first 5 school community members in the next 30 days so that you can get results like the ones that you see on screen now and join the top 10%. So step 1, we need to find out the niche, the avatar, and the offer. So when it comes to the niche, this just basically means what industry, what area are you going into? So we know that we're going to be selling a school community, but what actual niche are we going into? Are we going into the fitness niche? Are we going into the relationship niche? Are we going into the self-improvement niche? Are we going to the philosophy niche? Are we going into the cooking niche? Now, in order to help you choose which niche you actually want to use, I would recommend using a combination of a few different things. So number 1 is to ask people what they think you are good at. Number 2 is for you to write down what you think you are good at. Number 3, what type of books do you read? What content do you consume online? Number 4, what problem have you solved in your own life? And number 5, what problem do you think you could solve for someone else? And when you have all of these things written down, lots of ideas written down, you'll eventually come to a point where there will be an overarching or a very popular niche that sticks out in your mind. And you think, you know what, I used to be fat as fuck, I lost loads of weight and had a 6-pack, I think the niche I should go into is weight loss. Or I used to be a little virgin, now I have a girlfriend of 3 years, let me make a guide to help people get a girlfriend from being a virgin. Right, just a couple of examples off the top of my mind, some more strange than the other, but nevertheless, they are still niches. And it's up to you to decide your niche. I can't necessarily do that for you, but I can definitely help you decide your niche by giving you these questions that you can ask yourself and write the answers to, and do some deep diving into your own mind and your own experiences. Secondly, we want to look at the avatar. So who are we actually going to be selling to? So now that we know what niche we're in, maybe you're in the fitness niche, maybe you're in the cooking niche, who are you selling to? Are you helping guys over 40 lose weight? Are you helping women in their 60s make better cookies? Are you helping men under the age of 18 stop jerking off? You know, whichever niche that you've chosen, you need an avatar in that niche because we want it to be even more specific. Just having the niche of fitness or weight loss is way too broad, there's way too much competition. And the goal here is to become the best in our niche so that we have zero competition. We have a total unique product. And the only way to do that is to be pretty niche, which you can always expand on in the future. But right now we need to be niche, we need to niche down, and that means by choosing a specific avatar. So think, who are you going to help? This will probably be a past version of yourself. So if you're only 25 years old, it'll probably be helping 18 to 23-year-olds. If you're 60 years old, it'll probably be helping 30, 40, 50-year-olds. You get my point, just somewhere that you've been before and somewhere that you are now. The change and the difference, that is basically who you're going to be selling to, is the avatar. And the third point here is the offer. So we now know what niche we're going to be in. For example, fitness, cooking, you get the point. Number 2, we know the avatar, so guys under 25, women in their 60s, men with 3 children. You get the point again. Now we need to know the offer. So the offer is basically what transformation you are going to take this person through. So are you going to help them lose 30 pounds? Are you going to help them find a wife? Are you going to help them make banging wedding cakes? What is the transformation that you're going to be taking your avatar through? Where are they right now? Where do they desire to be in the future? What pain points will they have along the way? And once you answer all these questions, you can then find the transformation, the journey, and you could tap into what offer you are going to be making. It's very important that you get this right and that you make it very compelling and intriguing and relieve a lot of pain from your avatar. So now that we've covered step 1, the niche, the avatar, and the offer, let's move on to step 2. And this is finding where your avatar resides most commonly, which I like to call avatar hangouts. So think to yourself, do some research. Where does your ideal customer hang out? Are they in Reddit group chats? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on YouTube? Are they on TikTok? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Twitter? You know, have a deep dive, do some research, and think to yourself, okay, where are these guys going to be residing? For example, if you were selling to over 60-year-olds, you probably wouldn't catch them using TikTok or Twitter that much. However, you probably would see them on Facebook. However, if you're trying to target guys under the age of 28, then you'd probably find a lot of these on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, Discord. And do your research, find out where these people hang out, find out where they spend most of their time. Like for me personally, I spend a lot of my time on YouTube, and my avatars spend a lot of time on YouTube as well. That's why I make content on YouTube, because I use it a lot, and my avatars also use it a lot. So find out where your avatar resides, and this will be important for the next couple of steps coming up. But again, this is for you to do your research, to have a look into, and find out exactly where they reside and where they spend most of their time. Now, step 3 builds on step 2. So once we've found out where our avatars hang out, where our ideal customers are spending a lot of their time, we want to become a micro celebrity for specific communities. So in order to give you an example of this, say that you were selling to business professionals or accountants or lawyers or corporate executives. Probably a lot of them would have LinkedIn accounts. They'd want to come across as professional and talk to other business and corporate executives. So they'd probably be hanging out on LinkedIn. Now your job then would be to go onto their LinkedIn, get in the communities with the accountants, with the lawyers, with the business executives, follow people that they follow, comment on their posts, like their posts, add value to their posts and add value on your own page. And eventually over time, as you start to do this, you will become this kind of micro celebrity. So within your niche and to your avatar, people will start to know you and build a reputation around you as someone in that niche. Now, if you do this correctly, then you can start to build authority, you can start to build rapport, you can start to build respect, and all of these things are going to make it 100 million times easier when trying to get people into your community. But the important part here is finding out where they reside and then becoming a micro celebrity in that place by adding lots of value, joining people together, commenting, liking, adding a problem that you solved, talking about stories that you have that will help other people, and just overall becoming this kind of micro celebrity. Do this for a couple of weeks and you'll be ahead of the game. People will start to recognize you, pick up on your things, follow you and your journey, and listen to you on a regular basis. Now, step 4 is the content creation side of it. So we spoke about becoming a micro celebrity by adding value, commenting, posting, liking. We want to also add value on our own pages, and we're going to be doing this by making content. So again, where your people hang out, that's the platform you're going to be using to make content. In my example, I target people who create content, who have businesses, who are entrepreneurs, and therefore I make my content on YouTube because a lot of my potential customers will hang out on YouTube and watch these types of videos. Now, a lot of people get this content strategy wrong. You want to be making educational content, not entertainment content. So after becoming this micro celebrity in your niche, you want to also be educating people with the things that you have done in your past, problems you've solved in your past, the research that you've done, the things you've analyzed, the things you looked into. And the nice part about this is that you don't need to be an expert to educate someone else. All you need is either an experience or a problem that you've solved that they haven't. And you can do this by being just a couple of steps ahead. For example, on this channel, I never claim to be like an expert at building communities, but I'm a lot better than a lot of people are. So I teach people who really don't know that much about scaling communities. And even though I'm not the greatest community scaler in the world, I know more than they do, and that means that I can provide value to them. So you want to be creating educational content rather than entertainment content, which isn't going to serve your audience or your potential customers. And I've spoken about the reason of this in a couple of my past videos. Now, step 5 is a very simple step, and this is the pitch. So now that we've become a micro celebrity and we're creating content, all we want to do now is pitch our product or our service, aka our community, throughout the content that we make. So while we make this educational content, somewhere in between, we're going to be mentioning the product we have, the community we have, what problems we solve, and we're going to be basically telling people about our stuff. We're going to be letting people know that we have this thing. So the people that have got to know you as a micro celebrity, you go ahead and you tell them, okay, listen, I've started to build this thing. It's this at the moment, it helps, does this. If you're interested, hit me up and I'll add you. Or you're making YouTube, you're making Twitter, you're making Instagram content, and you say, listen, I've got this product, I've got this service. If you're someone who wants to do X, Y, Z, then I recommend you go check it out. I recommend you DM me and I'll send you the link, blah, blah, blah. So we're just going to be basically promoting our things to our content and to the people that we've built rapport and authority with on whatever platform we've been targeting. Now, the 6th step is to grow this community on autopilot. So I've spoken about the 5 steps that's going to help you get your first 5 community members. However, you probably don't want to be constantly grafting away on your community. You want it to grow organically without you having to do consistent marketing and advertising. Well, in order to do that, you need to grow on autopilot and use something called the flywheel method. Now, if you're interested in the flywheel method, then you can click the video that you see on screen now, and I'll walk you through the exact process on how to grow your community on autopilot.